Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. If you like what you see, please consider a subscribe. Here are 10 interesting and random facts about November 13th. Number 1. Becoming book. Becoming is the memoir by former First Lady of the United States Michelle Obama, published on November 13, 2018. Described by the author as a deeply personal experience, the book talks about her roots and how she found her voice, as well as her time in the White House, her public health campaign, and her role as a mother. It was the highest-selling book published in the United States in 2018, setting the record 15 days after its publication, with over 2 million copies sold. Number 2. Bloody Sunday. Bloody Sunday was an event which took place in London on November 13, 1887, when a crowd of marchers protesting about unemployment and the Irish Coercion Acts, as well as demanding the release of MP William O'Brien, clashed with the Metropolitan Police. Violent clashes took place between the police and demonstrators, many armed with iron bars, knives, pokers and gas pipes. A contemporary report noted that 400 were arrested and 75 persons were badly injured. Number 3. 2015 Paris attacks. A series of coordinated militant attacks that took place on November 13, 2015 in France. 3 suicide bombers struck outside the Stade de France in Saint-Denis during an international football match. Another group of attackers then fired on crowded cafes and restaurants in Paris, with one of them also detonating an explosive, killing himself in the process. A third group carried out another mass shooting and took hostages at a concert attended by 1,500 people in the Bataclan Theatre, leading to a standoff with police. The attackers were either shot or detonated suicide vests when police raided the theatre. Number 4. Big Ben's first bomb. Like a potent poison, the vibration penetrates every vein in the body. It strikes every nerve. It attacks and tries every fiber in the muscle. It makes your bones rattle and your marrow creep. That was the verdict of a Times reporter on the first test of the Great Bell of Westminster. It was first tested outside the Palace of Westminster on November 13, 1856, in front of quite a crowd. The bell had no doubt been tested behind closed doors at the manufacturer, but its public debut came in New Palace Yard on that early winter's day of 1856. Number 5. Armero Tragedy. The Armero tragedy occurred following the eruption of the Nevado del Ruiz stratovolcano in Tolima, Colombia, on November 13, 1985. The volcano's eruption after 69 years of dormancy caught nearby towns unaware. Even though volcanological organizations had warned the government to evacuate the area after they detected volcanic activity 2 months earlier, volcanically induced mudflows, landslides, and debris flows down its slopes at 50 km per hour, killing more than 20,000 of its almost 29,000 inhabitants. Casualties in other towns brought the overall death toll to 23,000. Number 6. Prestige oil spill. The Prestige oil spill occurred off the coast of Galicia, Spain, caused by the sinking of the 26-year-old, structurally deficient oil tanker MV Prestige, carrying 77,000 tons of heavy fuel oil. During a storm, it burst a tank on November 13, 2002, and French, Spanish, and Portuguese governments refused to allow the ship to dock. The vessel subsequently sank a few days later. It is estimated that it spilled 60,000 tons of heavy fuel oil. Number 7. 1994 Australian Grand Prix. The 1994 Australian Grand Prix was a Formula One motor race held on November 13, 1994 at the Adelaide Street Circuit. The race is remembered, besides being the closing of one of the most tragic seasons in the history of the category, also for an incident involving the 2 title contenders Damon Hill and Michael Schumacher, which forced both to retire and resulted in Schumacher winning the World Drivers' Championship by 1 point. Number 8. Toy Story 2. Toy Story 2 is an American animated film produced by Pixar Animation Studios for Walt Disney. Released on November 13, 1999 at the El Capitan Theater, despite production struggles, Toy Story 2 eventually grossed over $511 million and received widespread acclaim. It is considered by critics to be one of the few sequel films superior to the original and is frequently featured on lists of the greatest animated films ever made. Number 9. Happy Birthday Whoopi Goldberg. Karen Elaine Johnson, born November 13, 1955, known professionally as Whoopi Goldberg, is an American actor, comedian, author and television personality. A recipient of numerous accolades, she is one of 18 entertainers to win the EGOT, which includes an Emmy Award, a Grammy Award, an Academy Award, and a Tony Award. In 2001, she received the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor. Number 10. Happy birthday Lando Norris. Lando Norris, born November 13, 1999, is a British and Belgian racing driver currently competing in Formula One with McLaren, racing under the British flag. He was announced as a McLaren driver in 2018. Alongside Carlos Sainz Jr., he achieved his first podium in Formula One at the 2020 Austrian Grand Prix. There you have it. Thanks for your time. Please consider a subscribe and see you tomorrow.